Hello and welcome. My name is Krysta French, and today I'll be your yoga teacher. Thanks for tuning in. So today's class is an intermediate level Vinyasa flow, and we will be focusing quite a bit on opening up across the heart center, the shoulders, and the chest area. So just get prepared for that. So we'll go ahead and get started, just in a comfortable seat, sitting in our Sukhasana, our easy pose, with the legs crossed and the hands resting on top of the knees or thighs with the palms flipping up. Allow your eyes to close. Allow the facial features to soften. Lengthen the spine a little bit more and start to tune into the breath. So as you inhale, the belly fills, the ribs expand, and the collarbones lift. And as you exhale, make sure that you're exhaling completely, letting all the air go. Finding some softness as you arrive on your mat. Begin to reach your arms out to the side, reach all the way up overhead, palms press, and then exhale, take a twist off to the right side. So as you inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Gazing back over the shoulder, and then look back over the left shoulder. Inhale, the arms lift. Exhale, take a twist off to the left side. So lengthening on your inhale, and exhale, deepen the posture a little bit more. Come back to center. Inhale, stretch it high, palms press, and then hands come down through the heart center. Release them down on top of the knees, and we'll take some Sufi circles here. So really big circles, getting into the hips, getting into the shoulders, opening up across the spine. So as you inhale, reaching your heart forward, finding a little back bend. And as you exhale, round the spine. So continue on your own with your own breath. And then start to switch directions. So nice big circles. And just playing with that movement. Noticing any spots that need a little bit of extra attention. Come back to center, reach your arms up overhead, palms press, and hands come down through the heart. You can feel free to set an intention here if that feels right. And then take the hands forward. Come onto your hands and knees. Start to move through your cat and cow poses. So as you inhale, the belly pulls down, and as you exhale, round the spine. So there's never a wrong way to move through your cat and cow poses. So just make sure that you're honoring your body. So if you need some support under the knees with a blanket, feel free to take that. Going at your own pace, starting to link together breath with movement. Eventually, you're going to walk your hands just one palms width forward, and then begin to tuck the toes under, lift the hips, press all the way back, downward facing dog. So moving around here in your first down dog, bicycling the legs, pedaling the heels out. Keep allowing your chest to press back toward the thighs. The shoulders are drawing down the back away from the ears. And then finding stillness. Steady breath here. Keep grounding through the fingers, and then look forward. Step up to the front, lengthen to a flat back. Exhale to fold in half. Inhale, arms reach high, palms press up overhead, and hands lower down through the heart and down to the sides. So stand nice and tall in Tadasana, and then inhale, reach up, palms press. Exhale to fold in half. Inhale, lengthen, flat back, and hands down, step back, find a plank pose. Option to lower the knees as you lower halfway or all the way down, and then find a baby cobra. Lift the heart, maybe go a little bit deeper, and then exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Stay connected to the breath. So notice if it started to change or shift. And bring your mind back to the present moment. From here, look forward, step or float up to the front, length, and find that flat back. And exhale, we fold in half. Inhale, arms reach up and out, palms press, look up, and hands lower through the heart and all the way to the sides. Inhale, reach it high again, palms press, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, create space, and hands down, step or float back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Noticing where the gaze is. See if you can center the gaze somewhere along the midline of the body. Nice full breaths. Allow the heels to drop deeper. And then gaze comes forward. Step or float up to the front, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep it on up, palms press, look up, and hands come down through the heart and all the way down to the side. So keep moving. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale to a flat back and hands down, step or float back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, downward facing dog as you exhale. So just starting to build some warmth in the body, some heat in the muscles, in our sun salutations, just preparing the body for deeper stretching, deeper movements. Gaze comes forward, step or float up, lengthen the spine, flat back. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, arms reach up and out, palms press, and hands come down through the heart and down to the sides. Inhale, reach up, lengthen. Exhale, fold in half, release. Inhale, flat back, and hands down, step or float back to Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Nice long spine. Shoulders moving down the back, away from the ears. Try to distribute that weight evenly through the hands, taking some pressure out of the wrist. And then looking forward, step or float up, lengthen the spine, flat back. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold over. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up, palms press. Hands lower through the heart and down to the sides. So get nice and tall in your Tadasana. Inhale, reach up, take a little baby back bend this time, and exhale, fold in half, release. Inhale, lengthen, flat back, and hands down, step the left foot back, lower the knee and untuck the toes. Begin to take the hands at your thigh, opening through the heart, pressing the hips forward, and then reach your arms all the way up and back. So you can interlace all but your index finger and thumb here, trying to wiggle those upper arm bones behind the ears, and then split your arms like you have goal posts. So opening the heart, really reaching the heart up. Reach your arms up and back again, and then lower the hands down, back toes tuck under, step back to plank, lower Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Notice the breath here. Inhale, reach the right leg high. Open your hips and stack them. Roll around the knee, the hip, and the ankle. Get some movement there. And then step it forward. Spin the back heel down. Reach up and find warrior one. So maybe those palms are pressing. Maybe they stay open. Either way, lengthen the tailbone. And then release the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. Pull the knuckles down, open through the chest, and then start to fold over, humble warrior. So the shoulders resting over the thigh, or it's falling on the inside. Either way, the head is heavy. Slowly come back up, reaching for warrior one, and then release the hands down, step back, take your vinyasa. So keep in mind, you can always skip your vinyasas if they get a little bit too intense, or if you feel like you just want a child's pose. Inhale, reach that right leg high again and step it up. Lower the back knee, untuck the toes. So pressing the heart and the hips forward here. And then slide the hips back just to lengthen that right leg. So flexing the foot to feel this in the hamstrings, or maybe you're pointing the toes to feel it in the front part of the shin. Either way, we're reaching the chest down over toward the shin. And begin to shift the weight forward, coming into your lizard pose. So the hands come on the inside of the foot, back toes tuck under, lift the back knee, get strong in the upper body, shift the weight into the left hand, stack the right foot over for side plank. So we're balancing on the outer edge of that left foot, and then lower the right hand down, take your vinyasa. So you can take it or leave it, meeting back, downward facing dog. Nice steady breath, gaze comes forward, step or float up into malasana. So the feet are nice and wide on the outside of the hands, and then sink through the hips. The hands come at the heart, elbows plug into the inner thighs, lift the chest, roll your shoulders down the back. Keep reaching the heart, and then lower the hands down, lift the hips. And you can soften the knees here as you take the hands over the low back, interlace the fingers, and pull the hands away. So nice big shoulder stretch. Release the hands down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Sweep it on up, palms press. And hands lower through the heart and down to the sides. So coming back to the front of your mat, big toes touching. Inhale, reach up and take a little baby back bend. Exhale, we're folding in half. Inhale to a flat back. Lower the hands, right foot steps back. Drop the knee, untuck the toes. Take the hands at the thigh, reach your heart and your hips open, and then sweep your arms all the way up and back. Interlace all but your index finger and thumb. Keep pulling the heart up, and then split your arms, finding goalpost arms. Reaching the heart up, pressing those hips forward, come back into straight arms. Lower the hands down, back toes tuck under, step back to plank. Vinyasa is yours. So stay connected to the breath, really working on linking together breath with movement. Inhale, the left leg lifts, and then you can stack your hips, open through the hip, roll it around, roll the ankle, come back to a straight leg, and then shift it forward, step it through, right into warrior one. So both feet are really grounded as you lift the arms, soften through the shoulders. Big inhale. As you exhale, split your hands, reach behind you, interlace the fingers, open through the heart. And then slowly we're folding forward, humble warrior. So shoulder is either resting over the thigh or it's falling on the inside. Get grounded in the feet. Inhale, come back up, warrior one, maybe those palms press. And then lower the hands, step back. Vinyasa is yours. So moving through chaturanga and upward facing dog, meeting in down dog. Inhale the left leg high, and then step it up in between the hands. Drop the right knee. Press the hips forward. Open through the hip flexor. And then when you're ready, you can slowly slide the hips back, just lengthening out that left leg. So reaching the chin down over toward the shin, flexing or pointing. When you're ready, the hands come on the inside of the foot, back toes tuck under. We're shifting forward into our lizard pose. So get strong in the upper body like you're finding a plank pose. And then coming right into side plank, weight comes onto that right hand. We're lifting the hips as we lift that left arm. And maybe you go deeper here. Take the hand down, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Full steady breath. Gaze comes forward. Step or float up. Just find your flat back this time. Exhale, fold into it. And then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up, palms press. Hands come down through the heart. And all the way down to the sides. So standing nice and tall in your Tadasana. You can take a moment just to close your eyes here. Get settled. And then when you're ready, inhale, sit back. Find a chair pose. Get nice and heavy in your hips, gazing up toward the thumbs. Maybe sink a little bit deeper, and then fold in half. Inhale, lengthen to a flat back, and hands down. Step or float back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Notice the breath. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Step it in between the hands. The back heel spins to the floor. Open to warrior two. So our gaze is falling over the right fingers. Allow the shoulders to find softness as you press that front knee open, pressing through that back heel. And then start to revolve your warrior, flipping that right palm, reach it all the way back. The left hand slides down the left thigh. Come back, and then right into our extended side angle. This time we're taking a variation of lowering the hand down to the ground and then lifting that left arm. So if you want to go deeper, you're going to take a bind here. Left hand comes around the back, right hand under the thigh. Even deeper still, we're working into bird of paradise. Remember, this is optional. Look forward at that right foot, step the left foot up, shift the weight into the left foot, and start to lift your body up, eventually extending that right leg high. This is a challenging posture, so if it doesn't feel right, just come right back down. Eventually, if you're in that bird of paradise, bend the knee, lower the foot, step the left foot back, so we're back in our bind, and then split your arms, so left arm's reaching straight up. It's just a different variation, and then we're coming all the way back up to warrior two. Lengthen the right leg, step the left foot in just a little bit, reach across the right side, and extend the left arm high, finding your way into triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. So gaze can come up toward that left thumb, if it's okay on your neck. Root down to rise all the way up, press again into warrior two, and then revolve your warrior one more time, cartwheel your hands down to frame the foot, and then step into our side plank one more time. So left hand is taking the weight. To go deeper, or flip your dog here. So right foot comes off of the mat, lifting the hips, reaching that right arm. And then come back to three-legged dog. And then come back down, regular downward facing dog. Full steady breath. Gaze comes forward. Step or float up, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sit back, find your chair pose, Utkatasana. Get heavy in your hips, weights back in the heels, and then fold into it, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen to a flat back. Lower the hands, step or float back. Take your vinyasa. Keep in mind you can always skip your vinyasas. You do not have to take them all. Find your breath. And then inhale, left leg lifts. Step it up right into warrior two. So arms are opening wide. This time the gaze is falling off to the left side, coming over the left fingertips. Press equally through the legs. That front knee is opening up toward the pinky toe side of the foot. And then start to revolve your warrior. Reach back through those left fingers. Continue to press into that front thigh. Open your arms wide. And then lower that hand down, extended side angle pose. Remember, you can stay right here in this variation with the arms straight, or you can take a bind. To go deeper, bird of paradise. We're looking down toward the foot and then shifting the weight into that left foot. We're going to step that right foot all the way up. Weight this time is going to come over into the right leg as we start to lift, keeping the bind, rolling the heart open, Eventually, that left leg extends. Nice full breaths. If you fall out of it, it's okay. Slowly bend the knee, come back down, step that right foot all the way back into our bind, and then splitting the arms, extended side angle. Slowly come back up, warrior two. Straighten out that front leg. Step the right foot in just a little bit, reach across the left side, drop the hand, and lift that right arm high. Find the rotation. Full steady breath, and then come all the way back up into warrior two. So Virabhadrasana 2, big breath in. Exhale, revolve your warrior, and then cartwheel the hands down to frame the foot. We're stepping into side plank. So left foot stacks over the right, and if you want, you can flip your dog. So taking that left foot off of the mat, lifting the hips, reaching that arm all the way forward, and then come back. Three-legged dog. Lower the foot down. Downward facing dog. Take a nice full big cleansing breath. Maybe sigh it out. And then look forward. Step or float up to the front. Lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, take your seat. Find your chair pose. Utkatasana. So get really low in the hips. We're going to pulse down. So bending the knees, sinking the hips even lower. So every time you bend those knees, sit the hips even lower. We're eventually going to come down onto our butt and then come up into boat pose. So we're landing in Navasana. So lifting the heart, lifting the legs any amount. Maybe the legs are straight, maybe they're bent. You can even have the hands supporting the backs of the knees. So keep it lifted. Steady breath. And then eventually cross those shins. Take the hands forward. Step back to plank. Vinyasa is yours. So no need to rush. If you ever need to pause this video and take a child's pose, you're always welcome. But we are coming into child's pose right now. So you can lower the forehead, stretch your arms long. Maybe roll the forehead back and forth across the mat. Let the hips get heavy. Let the body settle down. And then eventually we're shifting forward, coming into our plank pose. Get strong in the core. Press the floor away. Steady breath, a very gentle rounding through the upper back here. Keep reaching back through the heels and eventually lower with control all the way to the belly. When you get there, let your body just totally relax. And then take your arms down by the hips, lengthen and point your toes. So coming into locust pose. So start to press into the hips, lift the chin, the neck, the shoulders, the arms, and then the legs lift off the ground as well. So opening up the whole body here. Steady breath. And then eventually lower back down. Can wiggle the hips side to side. From here, bend the knees and catch your feet. If you know that bow pulling pose is too intense on your knees, come back into your locust. If you have the hands around the feet, press the feet into the hands, lift the heart, then start to lift the thighs off the ground. So everything is stretching open. Breathe here. Nice, full, steady breaths. You might even rock very gently with the breath. Eventually lower back down. You can bend the knees, swish the feet left and right. Let yourself get heavy. Totally release here. So the legs are long. From here, lengthen those legs. Take the hands by the upper ribs. Lift up into cobra pose. So opening through the heart, Roll the shoulders down the back and then lower back down. So it's like a rolling cobra. So palms are down, lift the chest. Maybe this time you take it into upward facing dog, and eventually we're going to press back to downward facing dog. So no rush. From here, we're going to take a seat back onto the heels one more time, finding child's pose. So a little break again. Nice counter stretch for all those back bends. And then we'll shift forward onto the hands and knees, and then even things out in our cat-cow poses. So just take a few rounds. And just moving into the hips and into the shoulders. Eventually, we're going to come up onto the shins. So placing the weight in the shins. You can allow the hips to stack right on top of the knees. And then tuck the toes for some support. The hands come at the low back for our camel pose. So inhale, begin by lifting the heart, opening the collarbones. Roll the shoulders down the back. Press the hip bones forward and tip the gaze back. Any amount. Slowly come back up. We're going to do this twice more, so go slowly. Don't take your deepest back bend right away. From here, a little bit deeper, maybe you walk your hands back toward the heels as you press the heart and the hips forward. Opening up, steady breath. Slowly, mindfully come back up, trying to keep those hips on top of the knees. So one more round to go deeper, untuck the toes. The whole hand is going to come down onto the foot. When you're ready, lift the heart. Hip bones press forward, tip it on back. Again, any amount. Steady breath. With control, we're coming back up. Take a seat back onto your heels, knees together. Take a moment just to let everything reset. And then we'll find a child's pose. So this time the hands are going to come down by your heels. So a lot of child's pose today, just because we're taking quite a few back bends. That's a really nice counter stretch for all those back bends. Walk your hands forward, press the palms against the ground, toes tuck under, downward facing dog. Full steady breath, gaze comes forward, and then we're stepping or floating the feet through, coming down onto the sits bones with the legs long. From here, the right leg stays engaged and long, left leg bends, so the foot comes to the right inner thigh. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, fold over. So Janu Sirsasana. Get nice and long in the spine. And maybe you just completely let your body get heavy here. If you want to take a little variation, you can come back up and then take the left hand across the outer edge of that right foot. So a very gentle little twist. So you should feel a nice stretch across the lower back on the left side. You can come back to center, come all the way back up, and then take that right foot out to the right side. So it's at an angle. Left foot comes at the inner thigh. Right hand comes at the inside of the leg as you take the left hand behind your head. Roll the heart open. You can bend your elbow and reach your elbow toward the foot, or reach your hand toward the foot. So either way, we're rotating the ribs open, trying to get that left shoulder peeled back. Eventually come back up, place the left hand behind your hip, lift the hip, stretch that right arm all the way back, opening, and then lower the hips down. From here, legs can lengthen, shake them out. This time, left leg stays long, right foot comes in. Janu Sirsasana, inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fold over the leg. So nice calming poses. I'm just letting the hamstrings stretch out. If you want to take that variation, getting more into the lower back, you're going to take the right hand to the outer edge of the left foot. And then take a very gentle twist. Keep reaching the heart open. You might come back to your regular Janu Sirsasana. Eventually come back up. That left leg opens to the left side, closing at the right foot to the inner thigh. Flip the left palm open, drop it in front of the leg. Roll the heart open as you take the hand behind your head. And then eventually maybe the hand reaches toward the foot. Just another option. Stay with the breath. Come all the way back up. The right hand plants behind the hip. Lift the hips, stretch that the left arm back. Open the hips, open the heart. Lower the hips back down. From here, both legs stretch out. Give them a little shake. And then bend the knees. So feet are planted hips width. Take the hands behind you. Fingers point towards you as you lift the hips. So reverse table pose. Lifting the heart, rolling the chest open, gaze tips back. Slowly the hips lower back down. Extend the legs. And then this time, reverse plank. So lift the hips again, this time with the legs long. Point your toes down. Gaze tips back. Slowly the hips lower down. Lengthen the legs. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold for Paschimottanasana. So our seated forward fold, sealing it all in. And we'll slowly start to lift back up and then begin to lower all the way onto your back. So we're going to pull the knees into the chest, give them a nice big hug, rock side to side. Massage across the lower back, massage across the sacrum. And then feet come down, hips width, finding bridge pose here. So hands are down next to the hips. Root down through your feet, rise all the way up. So lifting the hips up, you might interlace your fingers and walk the shoulders under one at a time. Keep stretching up. Push the floor away. Eventually lower the hips back down. You can windshield wiper the knees if that feels good. To go deeper, if you'd like, the hands are going to come up for wheel pose. So hands up by the ears, fingers point to the shoulders. Press firmly into the hands and the feet and then lift up. So push the ground away. Open everything. Steady breath. Stay grounded and lifted. And then eventually we lower back down. You can windshield wiper those knees side to side, releasing any kind of tension in the low back. Pull the knees into the chest, give them a hug, roll around. Nice little massage across the spine. And then we're coming back into our plow pose. So the feet are going to come behind the head. So if the feet do touch the ground behind you, you can release the hands. If they do not touch the ground, please make sure that you support the lower back with the hands. From here, we're going to set up for our shoulder stand. So hands come at the lower back. Try to walk them toward the upper back and then extend the legs all the way up. So aiming for that straight line from the toes to the knees to the hips to the shoulders. So everything is long. Come back into plow pose. Hands lower down like brakes as you slowly allow your spine to come down one vertebra at a time. We're lowering into fish pose. So hands are going to slip under the glutes. Lift the heart. Walk your forearms and elbows under the body. Tip the gaze back. So the crown of the head is reaching down to the floor. And then slowly release, tucking the chin, come back down, hug the knees into the chest. Allow your knees to drop heavily over to the right side. Arms can come wide. Maybe you look off to the left side. You can cross your knees or extend a leg. Let your knees come back to center, and they're going to fall off to the left side. Gaze comes to the right. The knees can come back to center. This time, take a happy baby. So the hands come around the feet, rocking left and right, opening the hips up. When you're ready, you can extend those legs long, making your way towards Shavasana. So make sure that you're as comfortable as you can be here. Legs extended, arms extended, shoulders soft and relaxed, allowing your eyes to close. And our quote today comes from Eckhart Tolle, and he says, "Presence is when you're no longer waiting for the next moment, believing that the next moment will be more fulfilling than this one." So allow your breath to get bigger. Start to send some movement back into the fingers and the toes. You can eventually reach up, take a big stretch. Draw your knees into your chest and then roll off to the side. Hugging the knees in, resting for another moment. And eventually pressing yourself up, finding a comfortable and easy seat, lengthening the spine, softening where you can. Take a moment just to notice the breath as you take the hands at the heart. Begin to thank yourself for choosing to practice today. Thank you all so much for sharing your own practice with me. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. If you enjoyed class with me today, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and I hope to see you on the mat very soon. Have a wonderful day.